And thank you to them. I always refer to Ohio as the Florida of the North and vice versa. And Delray Beach. We have a couple of bureau chiefs down there. We got Nick, who listens in Delray Beach. We got a couple people on that list. A woman down there, they have pulled her from a storm drain for the third time in 2 years.
Again?
They keep pulling this woman out of a storm drain. Lindsay Jane Kennedy. They've identified her multiple times, asked if she needed help. She ignored them and climbed into a storm drain. And she would refuse to come out. You know, when you have those kinds of problems, it's like trying to lure a frightened animal out of an area, right? You don't want to make any sudden movements. They tried to get her to come out, and she crawled even deeper into the culvert pipe. And so then they had to get first responders on the other end of the pipe. I imagine she was probably on the end of a pipe before she got into the culvert, but they got cops at one end and tried to flush her out. And so then they get her in the middle. You know, they got guys climbing at one end, people climbing at the other end. God, what's that movie? Oh, it's this wild, scary movie. The Canal. You ever seen The Canal?
I've not seen The Canal.
Watch The Canal. It's pretty wild. This guy starts having these nightmares. He and his wife move, and he starts having these nightmares. I think this is the one I'm thinking of, where he's in this tunnel, or he finds his wife in a culvert or something. It's like an Irish movie, but it's fun if you like that kind of stuff. Anyway, they're trying to get Lindsay Kennedy out of this pipe down there in Delray Beach for the third time in 2 years. And they got the Delray Beach Fire Rescue Special Operations Team, or DBFRSAT, to pull her out. Now, are they going to have to pull her out a fourth time? They pulled her out of the same storm drain in March 2021 after she had been missing for 3 weeks. We talked about this at the time. This is the same woman. And she was like they found her in a storm drain before where she was down there with like food. And so it's like at the bottom of this cistern with a pipe going perpendicular off of it. And she crawls into that when the cops show up. And she tells the cops, oh, I went swimming and lost my clothes. Her boyfriend reported her missing at that time. And she said, oh, I just decided to go down the tunnel and then realized I was lost. But I don't think anybody thought that was actually the case.
She's just like going on adventures.
She said that she'd been walking in the sewer system for about 3 weeks. And she'd been living off of an unopened can of ginger ale that she found while looking for a way out. I imagine if that happened one time, you go, yeah, I got lost down there in the Delray Beach sewers. They said that she appeared to be coherent and didn't show any signs of somebody that needed to be remanded to the custody of a psychiatrist. But her family says she has a history of mental illness and is a frequent user of narcotics.
Hey, there you go.
And has a history of doing, quote, odd things and, quote, making bad decisions. So anyway.
I don't even consider this. She's a sewer person. She's a chud. Let her be a chud.
Oh, God. Speaking of which, I was listening. Do you know who Tracy Ellis Ross is?
No.
Poundcake does. You know who Tracy Ellis Ross is?
He's on the phone.
Oh, he is. Anyway, she is an actress. She's on Blackish. She was on a show called Girlfriends. She's Diana Ross's daughter. And she has a lot of siblings because Diana Ross has been married a couple of times. Diana Ross still alive. And there's Tracy, and there's Evan, and there's Rhonda, and there's Christopher. And then she named one of her daughters Chudney. Chudney is her daughter's name. I don't know if that's if there's some specific attachment to something for that, but imagine your bouncing baby girl comes out and she goes, oh my God, look at that Chudney. I mean, even if it was a son, I don't know that there's if Chudney is a gender specific name, But boy, that's a wild name for a daughter. You go by Chud. All your siblings have gotten like regular name.
Yeah.
Is my brother Evan. Here's my sister Rhonda.
I'm Chutney.
I'm Chudney. Hello.
Chutney.
But they gave it to you for something. I don't know what that, I don't know. I found that out today listening to something with Tracy Ellis Ross on it, who's very funny, by the way. I never got into Blackish, but that show, I think, is objectively an entertaining show.
Did you watch the Eddie Murphy movie with your
You
guy?
People?
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah, I didn't either. I just really don't have any interest in it.
It's like one of these things where when I see the trailer for it ahead of time, I go, oh, this looks funny. Eddie Murphy, David Duchovny, Julia Louis-Dreyfus. I love everybody in it. Not a huge Jonah Hill guy, but fine. He comes with it. And then it drops, and I go, like, I'm trying to get excited for it, and I'll probably watch it. I'm finding that the shows I get into are canceled and then dropped. You can't find. There was a show I was watching called Pantheon. It was an animated series about this woman who her husband is killed by the company he works for, AI or something, and then he's uploaded into the computer, whatever. And it was on AMC. And it was one of these shows where they gave it an immediate 2-season order. And then after the first season, they canceled it and retroactively and then pulled it from all the services.
That's annoying.
So I was really getting into it. The same thing, I was watching a show called Counterpart with J.K. Simmons that ran for a couple of seasons over on Stars or something. Great, wild show called Counterpart, if you haven't seen it. And I'm not going to try to explain it because it's really dense and weird, but really good. 2 seasons, they renew it for a third, and then they cancel it. And you're like, okay, well, that kind of ended in a cliffhanger. And so, hey, Sarah.
Yeah, how are you?
You tell me.
Well, I don't know how you are, but I'm doing pretty good. Listen, I am on day 15 of the Whole30, and
Day what?
I am wondering, 15, halfway there.
So this is when you're getting really hangry.
Actually, I've been all right.
For you.
Okay, good.
Thanks, it is good for me. But listen, I am wondering, what is your favorite breakfast that's Whole30 compliant that has no eggs?
I mean, I haven't done a Whole30 in a couple of years.
Oh,
I mean, with no eggs?
yeah, no eggs.
You kind of got to go.
Vodka soda.
Not compliant, but thanks.
No.
Yeah, it's got to be like all meat, right? With no egg. I mean, that's not.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been doing a lot of grains with breakfast, but yeah, I need something a little bit more.
I mean, you
I
could do
need a good breakfast protein.
you could do like a kale and sausage or something.
Oh, I didn't even think of kale and sausage. That would
Yeah.
actually be, yeah, that would actually work. All right.
All right.
Thanks.
Hey, there you go. There's Sarah, completely out of the blue,
Once.
with a Whole30 question. All right. Yeah, I haven't done a Whole30 in a couple of years. I lost 15 pounds from it when I did it, but it can results may vary wildly for people who do it.
Man, I didn't know nothing about dieting before I just did this diet this past year. The Whole30 was nothing compared to that. Like, honestly, the Whole30, I think I was doing it wrong, and I happened to lose weight. Like, I got lucky. Honestly, because I was eating all the right things, but my portion sizes were all messed up, and I didn't know what times to eat, and I think I just probably lost water weight. I had that much water weight just built up,
Well,
and I
however
just
you got
happened to
there.
lose 20 pounds.
Let me give you some money here. It is $1,000 as advertised, a chance to go fund yourself. Don't text me the word. Listen closely and good luck.
The Buzzard wants you to go fund yourself and score $1,000. Enter the nationwide keyword cash at WMMS.com. That's cash. Enter it now at WMMS.com. And good luck from Buzzard Radio.
Did you see this girl that went viral for her? She was being sarcastic. I think it was on TikTok about Louis C.K.
Yeah. With the sold out.
Yeah.
Yes. That was very funny.
So Louis C.K. sold out Madison Square Garden over the weekend. And for a long time, in the immediate aftermath of him getting Me Too'd or whatever he got, when he kind of went radio silent for a while, when he finally started to dip his toe back into the doing shows pool, it was all overseas. He was doing shows in Ukraine, before they were, I think it was before the war over there started.
Well, I mean, he did a whole bunch of tours before.
But not right after the whole thing blew up.
No.
He went underground and
he
then
went underground
started
for about
to pop his
9
head up.
months. And then he did a club tour in America. And then he did a small theater tour in America.
Sold out everywhere he went.
And then he's like, okay, people are still showing up. And then he did like arenas. He's back in arenas now.
So this woman is being sarcastic, but it's basically to show that like cancel culture is not a thing. A girl named Tara Lichtenstein stood in front. Over her shoulder as she's doing this, you can see the Madison Square Garden Louis C.K. sold out, right? And she's doing a selfie video with that over her shoulder in full view.
Kind of controversial, but hear me out. Can we stop canceling guys who are such wonderful, brilliant artists over hearsay? Women have stories of them being creepy, but nobody knows the real story. And yeah, sure, a couple people have the same story, but okay, just so that we could tell that story, that guy never gets to work again. Never reach the same level of success. They can't sell the same number of tickets. They can't do what they love or pursue their passion anymore. Can ruin their lives. Literally, we're ruining guys' lives over this.
I just thought it was funny. Someone finally said it. Somebody posted.
Yeah.
She got about 2 million views on this, and then,
Very clever. Very funny.
Yeah, I like it. So, yeah, Louis C.K. doing fine. He's selling out Madison Square Garden.
The only thing that really hasn't taken off for him since then is there was that movie that he had to completely shelve, and then the one that he did, the 4th of July one
With Joe List.
Yeah, that didn't get as wide a release as he probably would have liked.
Well, and that was technically Joe's movie, I think. I mentioned that to him when he was here. I said I liked that movie. I think he wrote it, and I think he directed it. But he had to get some names attached to it to get people to even pay attention, and one of those was Louis. I Love You, Daddy was the Louis C.K. movie that got completely shelved. Nobody wanted to see a movie from him called I Love You, Daddy.
I thought Louis
right
directed
after
that one.
I thought Joe did. Maybe he did, but I think Joe wrote it, and it was his thing. But yeah, Louis, he was doing clubs. He got a Best Comedy Album Grammy.
Yeah.
So nobody's getting canceled. Roseanne Barr is getting ready to drop her first stand-up special in 20 years. If you're a Roseanne fan, that's good news.
Louis and Joe List wrote it together, and then Louis directed it.
There you go.
So.
Roseanne's new hour is called Cancel This. And it's going to air over on Fox Nation. I don't know what that is. Is that their streaming service?
It's
Fox Nation, I feel like is I think it's a subscription
Go
service.
ahead.
Sorry. Subscription service, yes.
So it's Fox News Channel's streaming service. Is that what it is?
Something like
they
that.
have another
Okay.
channel that they have the regular Fox and then Fox Nation.
If it's not crazy enough for Fox News, they put it over on Fox Nation. Is that the thought?
Probably.
I think Fox Nation's more scripted shows and stuff too.
I see.
Though.
Well, yeah. Roseanne Barr. I'll watch it. I don't know where Fox Nation is, but I think Roseanne is funny. Her first stand-up special in 2 decades is going to stream next month. It was filmed in Houston. February 13th is when it will start streaming. She hasn't done a special since an HBO special in 2006. Fox Nation will also release a special called Who is Roseanne Barr? But apparently that's a place for conservative celebrities to do shows. I saw the advertisement when I was on my Roku. On the side they have advertisements.
Yeah.
And there was one for Kevin Costner hosting a special on Yellowstone National Park, because now Kevin Costner has really gotten a shot in the arm because of Yellowstone.
And is
that
forever
show.
Connected to it for Yellowstone National Park.
Because of the show Yellowstone?
Yeah.
We started watching it, and I keep forgetting we're watching it, but so far everybody's like, you got to watch
I heard it's a
Yellowstone.
good show.
Yeah, it's entertaining. I like Kevin Costner. And then Kelsey Grammer hosted some documentary over on Fox Nation too. So I guess it's a place where if you're a Hollywood conservative, they give you a spot to do your thing, or they have you, I like Kelsey Grammer too. Maybe there'll be a Gary Sinise show over there. But anyway, if you're a Roseanne Barr fan, you're like, where can I find her? Is she done farming macadamia nuts yet? February 13th is Cancel This. They dropped a teaser where she's walking out. She looks skinny and blonde and the whole bit. Comedy legend.
Anybody else been fired recently?
It sounds almost evil.
Yeah, right?
Can't anything be funny over there? It's all got to be dramatic and scary and fired recently. That was like, how long ago was that?
Oh, God.
She didn't get fired recently. It's like 5 years ago.
3 or 4 years ago?
2016,
Yeah.
2017.
Yeah, around there when they just like redid her show. And so anyway, that's coming. But Louis not canceled, Roseanne not canceled. It's not real. I'm going to take a break. If you want to text for anything, 35192 to get me there, AlanCoxShow.com if you want to watch live, and we'll be back.
It's the Alan Cox Show on 100.7 W.